Do you want to do a podcast? We make a darn good team. It always goes without a hitch. Let's head to Twitch and go start up the stream. Do you want to do a podcast? It's the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Let's start now. Hi everyone and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast.
Come? Alright, I'll do my own bit for myself.
Oh wait, no silence.
We're doing it.
Get off the road. Hey Dave.
Hey, Boater.
Phone away. Hey Dave. Two gamers are lining up for a 100-meter dash. They go up to the line to start the race, but before they get into position, they both hit the line in front of them. Why? Because they're used to pressing start. Hey everybody and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast. I'm Boater. It's the starting line, Dave, and they both go like, they press start before they're ready to go.
Oh, because they're gamers. I get it. I like it. Let's put it on a t-shirt.
Not the worst idea you've had so far today? And the night is young. Hey everyone, I'm Boater.
I'm Dave Mann.
And welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast. All I heard was pressing start, but hello, the Hauser, and welcome to the stream. The joke probably wasn't worth it. You can catch it on VOD and decide for yourself. We've got a lot of topics, but first off, Dave, how was your weekend? How was your Easter?
Easter was good. Saw some family. Did some social distancing. Saw the real reason you visit anybody for their pets, and I got to pet them.
Oh,
and
good,
see them.
good. No distancing with the pets.
And then, God, I hope not.
Otherwise, it's just not worth visiting relatives.
And then there was a game. I talked about it yesterday on Behind the Counter, but I was very excited. The beta for Knockout City was live for the weekend.
Okay.
And I stepped my gaming frame onto the dodgeball courts and managed, actually, by the end of the stream, we were winning more consistently on our 3v3 matches than anything else. It was a lot of fun, and I cannot wait until May, for many, many reasons, for that game to come out as well.
Cool.
Also for our 11-foot vampire Lordess to come to us.
9'8". The official word is 9'8".
Oh God.
Yeah, mine was good. So the latest season of Diablo 3 started on Friday night. So there was the chance that I would have just lost Steph the entire time because she plays all the like seasonal and end game type stuff. I don't. But no, we did that, and
Steph doesn't play them. Steph dominates them. There's a difference. Steph and Mike step up to games, and the games go, please, no!
So she did a lot of that Friday, Saturday. Sunday, we spent a decent amount of time together. I had my morning stream, had a good time with Mech Mechanic Simulator, which I mentioned on here last week. And then we built a cheap little Lego set, and then played a board game for a few hours. That was a lot of fun. So, yeah, it was a good time. Nice time spent together, so
that's awesome.
Yeah, and then we're back here in the studio, ready for another episode. So let's go for it. Dave, we're gonna start off with a Twitch ban, okay? How's that sound?
I mean, it is our format, and I always enjoy hearing the Schadenfreude of gaming. I'm
going to preface this one actually with a content warning. For abuse. So content warning right there. I wanted to just like, hey Dave, guess what? But no, let's say that up front. So Dave, we talked, I think it was either last week or the week before, the difference between like some people that, they might have done something off stream and then it was found and then, they get banned for it. And then the guy that was like, oh yeah, I totally did that. He talks about it on stream.
Yeah.
But it wasn't something that happened on stream. No one would be stupid enough to do something on stream that would be so morally reprehensible as... According to Dextero.com, Twitch streamer Smash God XXX banned after allegedly assaulting girlfriend on stream. He turned the camera. He wanted her to leave the room. She didn't. He turned the camera away, and you heard a hit. And he was banned for that. He then later went back on stream or onto a pre-recorded video sitting down with her saying that's not what happened. And her body language is that of someone in an abusive relationship.
Oh, that's really unfortunate.
You know, and at the end he goes to prove that everything's fine and goes to hug her, and she's just like cold fish, unresponsive, turning away from him. Banned, I think, permanently, and rightfully so. If you hit the person that you are in a relationship with, you are an awful person. It's not even a guys hitting girls thing. It's a don't hit people. Don't hit people you are in a relationship with, because there's an implied level of trust there. And if you're in a relationship where you're taking advantage of that, and just don't. Just don't. I'm not in a position of authority to speak on abusive relationships, but just don't. Good?
Really unfortunate that behaviors like these continue to occur, and I really hope that Twitch looks into it.
Oh, he blamed it on her too. He victim blamed. It was on her for that. Whatever did or did not happen ended up happening.
Oh, good.
And he denies all blame himself.
Classy, and also the
And
best
thanks-
way to
and thanks-
continue to get your stuff.
So
and the
nice
way
that
you
that
want
happened
it.
on stream so that the world could see what a scumbag you are.
Yeah.
People have uploaded the VOD to separate services because obviously they were deleted from his. And he's like, don't click those links, whatever. It's like, yeah, no, it's again, that is, what was his name again? Smash God XXX, if you want to see for yourself. I couldn't bring myself to watch the video. There was just stills, and a still with, like, him and his girlfriend afterward, and just... So, hey, Dave, what's coming out this week? What video game releases are we looking forward to?
Well, this is the
Hopefully that's the lowest we go all episode, and it's just up to happiness from here.
this is the breath in releases before another busy season of AAA titles coming out. Today, obviously, we talked about it last week, but Star Wars Republic Commando is releasing on PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
If you haven't played it, definitely recommend checking it out. More interesting Star Wars lore, fun shooter game, a lot of things going on. What's going on, Shani Lang, by the way, in chat, giving some hype. And honestly, the only other one that catches my eye is members of my community will be snapping this game up. Legend of Heroes Trials of Cold Steel 4 will
Legend
be...
of Heroes Trials of Cold Steel 4.
Yes.
Okay.
And they have all had Legend of Heroes Trials of Cold Steel as the title, and this is now the... Actually, I don't even think that's the most recent installment. I think this is just the carryover. But yes, it's been out in Japan since 2018. So we in the US are just getting it for our PlayStation 4s and Nintendo Switches.
But hey, it's not one that's already been released here and just releasing on the new console, so that's something. It's almost like a new release.
It's close
The
enough.
past couple weeks have just been like, hey, did you really enjoy this game and you want it on a newer console? Here you go.
I think I might have to drop an LA hat one day. Shani, if you want me to wear an LA hat, you can certainly staple it to me. I don't get it.
If you want me to wear it and just stare at Dave all day, I would gladly.
Amp Slayer with beady eyes in chat. Nah, it's been out for a while for PS4. Now it's coming for Switch and PC.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, it would be a little bit funny if I knowing the San Francisco Giants better than the average person, and then Boder having no idea about the Dodgers and the fact that the Dodgers are a better team of these two, and seeing if every week Boater can guess how they're doing as compared to my team.
Dave, are they a team that you're supporting? They're doing terribly. Next.
Oh, that's quite mean.
Yeah, but it's not wrong.
Still incredibly mean. So, a little bit slow on gaming news,
Yeah.
but at the same point, there was a lot of personal things going on for me personally. Like, so for example, on the weekend Wednesday, I unboxed my new PS5.
Nice.
That my community managed to incidentally snag 2 for their household and didn't need 2.
That's awesome.
So they managed to pass along the savings and then not scalp it to me.
Nice.
So I opened it up on stream. I'm not sure if a clip was made of it, but I did a rather cheeky joke where the Walmart box that it was in, I took the PS5 out, and originally, put the 3 box in the 2 box, haha, it's PS5. But no, we here on Insane Games TV, we go a little bit further, but
Did
not
you put
too far
5
away.
PS1s into it?
I put a PS4 and a PS1 box.
Okay.
In there, and just act. So I did a. I'm
I
very
mean, a
proud of it.
PS5 box is like the size of an aircraft hangar, so you
Yes.
could have fit 5 different boxes in there.
So I was really proud of the fact that I opened it up to the point where I couldn't see what was in it, but the audience could, and people were like, "Dave, there's not a 5 in there." I was like, "No, the directions say there's a little bit of arithmetic you have to do in there for a setup. It's fine."
Nice.
And then
I like my clap, basically a seal.
PlayStation did the thing that they do best, which is
You plugged it in and you had to wait 3 hours to actually play anything.
Oh, no, actually, that's the thing that struck me. The second I plugged it in, they were like, "Put a disc in, and we'll start installing it while you're doing your setup." And by the time I
Nice.
reached the other end of the console, 15 minutes later, the game was it was a PS4 copy of Godzilla from 2013, but still, that game was primo and ready to go right off the bat.
Nice.
Shani Lang, tough division. San Francisco has an awful rotation right now. Trust me, when your entire, I said this on in chat for the No Look podcast last night. When your rotation, when your players are old enough to collect AARP, pro sports are definitely starting to get a little tough for you. But the PS5 has been nothing but awesome. The fact that I can play my PS4 games on it, and a whole mess of the titles that I own in physical copy, I put them in, and the PS5 goes, "By the way, do you want the PS5 upgrade for free?"
Nice. Very
so
cool.
So my Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yeah, I think both of the newer consoles are doing a really good job of that. Like, if you look at stuff that's out for the Series X that is also released simultaneously for Xbox One, the box just says Xbox, and it'll figure out which console it's on when you plug it in.
I'm a very big fan of it, but Boater, so are you tempted by the new consoles? Are you going to be...
I'm going to get a Series X maybe for this upcoming holiday. I'm not sure. Like, before Halo Infinite comes out, absolutely. Otherwise, I might get it just because I really want to play Control again, and I really don't want to have 35-second loading screens like I did on the Xbox One. Like, I haven't played it with the DLC either. That game is so good, and I keep hearing things about it some more and being reminded of it, and I'm like, I really got to play it.
So, my first game played on a next-gen console was a 2013 Godzilla game. What do you think when you picture the first time you play the next generation of Xbox, and you guys in chat, the next generation, whether it's next generation console or the next time you upgrade your hardware and software on your PC, what's the game that you're going to pop in first to wiggle around in the new couch?
Recore.
Please be Recore. Please make it Recore. Please play Recore. See if by some miracle it jumbles up that code and fixes it.
It would at least make the loading screens faster. I remember we had a couple quips on the loading screens. Oh, I remember one of the quips about the loading screens. It made me an awful person. Should I share it?
I mean, if you would like to. However, I remember...
Why are the loading screens so long? I mean, it could have done what happened for why Paul Walker died. And then you looked at me, and I said, crash.
Boo!
Yeah. Anyway, hey, we're awful people. Welcome, PC Master Race, Shaney. Yep. Mech Mechanic Simulator, fun, but streaming that was janky as all get out because like it is somewhat graphically intensive. Even without streaming, it had some frame skips and stutters and stuff like that. On my graphics card, which we talked a bit about the state of graphics cards last week, but yeah, it's not a bad card, but it was starting to skip, and so like playing it on stream was like it still played okay for me, but total frame output was maybe like 10 frames a second.
Oh God!
It was a little rough. So I'm showing it to someone that was interested in how the game plays. I'm like, it's going smoother for me. I promise. It's not streaming well because it's not graphically optimized. Game's getting better though. I might have mentioned last week that there was a really annoying just Android voice wandering around saying stupid crap, and they've introduced a toggle to turn it off. So important things.
That's. Oh God, though, like. Ugh.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. It probably honestly Control. I would probably get an Xbox Series X, and I would get the definitive edition or whatever it's called for Control with all the DLC bundled in, and sit down for that again. Maybe for stream, maybe just for myself. I don't know. Dave, I had a really good time playing Control with you that one time on the weekend Wednesday, so it might be something that we do together again.
I'm looking forward to it. I've made a habit, by the way. You'll notice if I stream a game with someone, or someone says, "Hey, I really want to play this game with you," you'll notice that I don't play it until I'm playing with that person.
Yeah.
So there are so many games now in the back catalog because guests were not a thing, and reliably playing things together. So some folks were looking forward to me playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Yep.
And I was waiting for a legacy host of streaming to be able to come together, and then COVID and they've started a family, and much love to them on that. But soon for a lot of titles.
Yeah.
But Demon Dragon, there may be a Halo Edition Xbox that comes out, so that could be
I mean, that's when I got an Xbox One. It was the Halo 5 edition Xbox One.
The Hauser saying Battlefield will probably be the title. Shani Lang, you already read it, shouted out, but the PC Master Race.
Yep.
And Vladdy.
Sunset Overdrive 2.
You know what? This is what happens now.
And when you need to hit someone, that's why you switch to a BRB screen. No.
Boo, Boner, boo! Oh my God.
I don't know why I said that. That was terrible.
Why, Boner?
I'm going to go hang my head in shame. Dave, do you have more things to say?
So
that was bad.
If
that was in poor taste, I do apologize.
That
was in poor taste of me. I'm sorry.
If any of you guys do have other games you're looking forward to playing on the next-gen systems, I was very glad. The unsubtle irony that I was looking forward to playing Beagmaster Hit It and Quit It. Exactly. I was looking forward greatly to playing Godzilla 2013. The day Godzilla vs. Kong came out, I was playing that old game, and I got the 5. So I was able to play, like, the stars aligned for all of it.
Hang up! Nobody's going to answer.
What I'm going to do here with this is mute the calls so that when those continue to happen...
It doesn't even say call from Spectrum. It's call from no caller ID. So it's just saying the number that's calling us.
Well, yeah, because I'm starting to notice a trending theme of people calling while certain things are live. So I figured out how to mute the phone system. So keep calling. You're not going to get connected, but keep calling.
Cool.
So there's oh my God, the influx of gaming news has been ridiculous lately.
Yeah.
They had the longest number in the white pages. What's going on, Beagmaster? By the way, if you're a fan of sports, Shani Lang looking at you, if you're a fan of some of the wettest gaming and some of the hottest takes you're going to hear, tune in on Mondays for the No Look podcast, and then Beagmaster does join in with AC Wheezy on occasions on Monday Night Gaming and Thirsty Thursdays. So definitely tune in on Insane Games TV to those streams. Preemptively, I'm going to say this to you. You're welcome. Because it's a good fucking time.
Okay, Dave, you gave me a few previews ahead of time, and I wanted to ask more details, but I figured we'd save it for here. So what other juicy things have you found? There was some stuff that was like, yeah, big and follow up on whatever, but I forget a lot of what you mentioned. I didn't bring any topics to the table today. Dave's doing all the work, and I'm just over here verbally hemorrhaging and sticking my foot in my mouth.
No, you did your segments, and now it's my turn for mine, and I always appreciate them. Do you want to write another improv topic while I?
That's all you're good for. Yeah, write some words, funny man, for us to talk about that aren't actually true.
So, Boulder, I have some bad news, and I have some bad news for all of you out there. If you need to ask public people, it hurts when I do this, and try to get answers from folks, Yahoo Answers will no longer be the place you can go for that.
I'm sorry, I was going to be totally shocked, but in their header image of whatever, the New York Times header image, what animal is Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yep.
If you need to make an ass of yourself in question form, you're going to have to go do it on Quora, because Yahoo Answers that I did not know still existed so long.
First, so I'm going to pause for just a second. Appreciate it, Dave. I challenge you to MLB The Show. You are on. I am going to lose so bad. And yet, somehow in the 9th, I'm going to manage to have a homer roamer. And so the New York Times article, the picture it's the Yahoo logo, and then it says, what animal is Sonic the Hedgehog? Could spaghetti be way shorter? Why is everything in my grandma's house moist? Yuck! And then smoke coming from my belly button? Exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark.
No, but how will I know if I'm pregnant?
Pergonant. I love those compilations of people asking the internet how to tell if
how
they
do
are...
Luigi board?
So,
Dave, we need a Luigi board in our
if you want to ask questions to anonymous strangers for them to give you sometimes factual, but a lot of times very, very stupid answers, May the 4th, ironically enough, is when cosmically you're only going to have Google Answers now. And I think Ask Jeeves might still be a thing.
I mean, normally at this point, when I look for questions to something, Google ends up pointing me towards Quora.
Ask.com is still a thing. Is my podcast good?
Ask Jeeves is just a search engine.
Come on, he used to give answers. You know what? That's why it's Ask.com and not Ask Jeeves. Jeeves used to give you like if you ask it, is this or that, like opinion question, Jeeves would have a blurb and be like, why, certainly not.
But what happens when you bumps around your mouth? I only asked Yahoo Answers. Where do I go now? And hello, Arilla's Dragon's Bane. How's it going? Dave, I can't try to think of a topic while I'm also like verbally going.
While we're talking about the demise of one of the best, the equivalency of Florida Man of the internet,
the unintentionally best website.
I don't know if Yahoo's going to survive that shutting down. By the way, I think the fact that
Yahoo's been on life support for 15 years.
I think the fact that you know what though? Speaking of Yahoo being on life support, folks, if you're a sports fan and you need stats and things, or if you're stuck at a dinner party and you want to grab quick facts, don't get the MLB app. Get the Yahoo Sports app. My God, it is exceptionally more articulate, well laid out, and way better information given at the click of a...
So that's a team of people working on something that clearly, like, they were just told, I don't know, go make something. Here's some money. Not enough, but go for it. And they happen to be passionate enough.
So... kudos to Yahoo Sports for beating out the MLB app. I got really mad about this when I was playing games with some of the crew earlier, and one of our friends, Jeff, goes, "What app are you using for scores? How am I that far ahead of you on this?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm using this." And he was like, "That app sucks. Install Yahoo Sports." So Just as a if
Just
you ever
do it.
if you're ever at a dinner party and you want to like contribute something sports related and then not get asked sports questions, just the app, click on it, click a team you know no one's a fan of, and be like, "Oh, guys, right now the Yankees are leading the Orioles 1-0. Could be Garrett Cole's week this week." Again,
That- Now you're just flashing me back to my sister-in-law's wedding. The groom sitting there looking through sports scores for the Yankees game. I'm pretty sure the best
Hey.
man said the current score of the game at the start of his speech.
good. I mean,
Said, so you guys don't have to look at your phones. The Yankees are up by 3, or whatever it was.
Big Master asking the important question: who's the best Pokemon of all time and why? Oh my God! Should that be another segment? Nerd Glasses answers.
Oh my God. Well, it's sort of the discussion topics thing.
That'll be so good. What's going on, Auntie? Welcome. Big Master, I'm going with Mr. Mime. Totally not a child molester. Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not going to say what was about to come out of my mouth. I've already put my foot in my mouth too many times tonight.
So, best Pokemon is Garbodor because it truly knows where it's at.
There was spoilers for the last episode of Unraveled by Brian David Gilbert on Polygon. He did a video on Pokemon edibility. What is the most edible Pokemon? And his whole shtick was like, I don't want to do this video. Everyone keeps asking for this video. If I do this video, won't be able to do Unraveled anymore. And then shtick of like his boss being like, well, I guess this is your last Unraveled then. Was how he announced that he would no longer be a Polygon. But like the whole time, the whole way, he's, what would be the most edible Pokemon? Goes on different things. And at one point towards the end, I'm just like, Togepi. And then he's like, finishes off and doesn't say anything. And then he's like, but it's totally Togepi. Yeah. Togepi, best Pokemon, because you can eat it in a survival situation. It'll be delicious. Mimes need to be hung upside down into snake pits with a sign across them reading, use the words.
Listen here, friend. If you can say help me, I will. But until you stop doing that... crap, he signed it. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, I was going to say. You comprehend sign language, so if they signed it to you... but I would assume that because sign language is a language, albeit unspoken, that would be against the mime code or whatever to use it. Because mimes using sign language may as well be speaking. So they still have to mime what they're doing. Muck would probably taste better than Togepi. No. I mean, Dave, if I wanted to taste garbage, I would go to McDonald's.
Have you eaten public school food recently?
I have not. Thank God.
I'm not gonna lie. One of my students looked at me one day, and I was like, "How come you're not eating your lunch?" And he literally goes, "You eat," and I was like, "Okay." And so I like stepped away, I took my mask off. I'm sitting there, and I'm gonna do the bravado, like, "This is so delicious," and I popped it, and in my head I was immediately like. There was immediately people in my head going, bail, just spit it out, it's fine. And I was like, oh my God.
Let the kid know he's right.
I was like, you are totally right. We are never ordering that particular menu item at the school that we're at. I'm going to go on Yelp and I'm going to give that particular meal 0 out of 5 stars.
Dave, before you lose the chance, go on Yahoo Answers and say, why is this so bad?
After the podcast.
Okay.
Vladdy, no one's gonna eat Vanillite. The vanilla ice cream Pokemon? No, I want to eat the obscure and weird ones. Magnemite. So, to hop back
I
up...
want to eat one of the legendary bird Pokemons. It's just like, tastes like chicken. It was a god! I mean, it was decent chicken.
So we'll bring it back around with Boater, waking up can always be a tough thing in the morning, as all of us know.
Yep.
But some celebrities have given new definition to the term rise and shine and wake up the day. And I don't know if you know this character, but I'm going to play the clip. It was a cameo that someone asked for, paid
Okay.
for, and then they made it into a public thing that people could download and
Okay,
use as
okay.
an MP3 file. So here it is. Imagine waking up to this sound.
What the hell is wrong with you? Get out of bed, you lazy bastard. What? Come on, partner. The day ain't gonna complete itself. You gotta get out of bed, you lazy. You remind me of Uncle. Don't be coming out with that lumbago crap again. I ain't having it. Get out of bed before I pull my six-shooter and get you out myself. Whether you be live or dead, it don't make much difference to me. Come on. You're so goddamn lazy. What the hell's wrong with you?
So, do you know what character that was yelling at you to wake up?
The High Noon character from Overwatch. I don't.
Oh
know
my
his
god, I
character.
wish that was McCree. No,
Okay.
no, it was. Anyone in chat have a guess? Molter's a spicy chicken, says Demon Dragon.
I mean, true. Articuno is still frozen. You need to cook that shit.
Anyone recognize that famous character voice? Ron Lee Emery. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You will get yourself out of that bed right now and you will make it. You will run around the house 4 times. Get it, move it, move it, move it. Amp Slayer, Arthur Morgan. Hauser, not sure who, but would see
I wouldn't have minded waking up to that in some circumstances. Been woken up by words. Who pray tell?
Amp Slayer right on the money. With that was the main character from Red Dead Redemption 2, Arthur Morgan.
Oh, okay. Nice.
As voiced by Roger Clark.
Okay.
I really liked that, and I kind of wish this is the only time that having an iPhone is a little bit tough, that I can't just download it and make that my my ringtone. Although I have a feeling that Claire would not appreciate hearing that, as I do wake up substantially earlier than she does.
I'm trying to think. I set myself 2 alarms. One of them, I think, is the Olympic theme. Which is a good way to wake up. And then the other one, I posted.
Does that motivate you to hear like?
It used to.
Okay, but so at one point before it became the norm,
I mean, that
thing
was
for you
the
to wake up to,
idea. That was
like
the
it-
idea.
But like the first time you ever heard that when you regained consciousness, did that like lift you
Sure.
up?
Sure. I mean, at this point, I don't even consciously recognize what's on my phone. I'm just like, it's noise. Bam. The other one, I had tried to record some Foley of my last car, just
Yeah.
getting the audio of like the exhaust kind of thing, and something about the audio recorder was weird, and it only caught it in little spurts. So instead of it was. And someone took that and remixed it into a song. It was great. So that's my other wake up alarm.
What wakes everybody else up in the morning? I have 2 very good alarms. I have the London Philharmonic playing the Star Trek Next Generation theme.
Nice.
And nothing motivates me to get up more than thinking about the fact that if I don't, Claire's going to wake up and I'm going to get struck, and I don't want that. And I also have my cat Savannah. She is very good. She knows that when that song plays, it is time for her to walk in and go, wake up, just get up. It's time for you to fill my food dish.
Our
Like-
dogs have internal clocks. So on weekends, when none of the alarms go off, they still... Steph is on the closer side of the bed to them, so they will still wake her up around like 7. They know what time it is. Daylight saving time is kind of a hard adjustment for them.
Vladdy dropping a jam for the ages. Generic Android alarm number 3. Nice. That's a hot track right there.
I use that iPhone marimba thing. Ugh, God. Ringtones that you hear too many times out in public and you just want to strangle. Ow.
What is happening this week?
I kind of got myself
Boulder,
hard.
whatever you had for breakfast today, make sure you have that again next Tuesday. This is
I had a Cliff Bar for breakfast.
perfect. Yeah, I got a random alarm. Actually, I got 2 alarms go every 10 minutes, 5 minutes apart. So I turn one off and I still have another. It stresses me out too much to have to snooze alarms.
Yeah, same. That's why I set 2 alarms, 15 minutes apart.
No, I know for a fact that the one alarm is the one alarm. So in the back of my head, it's either get up now or you're gonna have to panically get everything done and get to work. So I'm really glad that we're sort of embracing the more improv feeling for our program. If you guys do have any last minute improv prompts you want to give us on the Discord down below, right into the what is the section called on the Insane Games TV Discord?
Under
Hat
Nerd
Trick
Glasses,
Topics.
it's under Hat Trick Topics.
Um,
Dave, let's hit this one and then the one with the figure. I want to
So I
discuss
will.
those, but-
Okay, we'll go those two then. We'll skip this one
Okay.
for another week. But we've been covering the Epic versus Apple trial since it came out. We've been talking about their battles left, right, and center. And as we remember, we said that Apple was starting to subpoena outside organizations that have similar models for information.
Or organizations that don't have similar models. Why not? Cast as wide a net as you can, Apple.
So Steam was one of them. Facebook was another. And Facebook went the way, instead of Steam, who said, we're not giving you anything, come back with a lawyer, Facebook sent them...
To which they came back with a lawyer.
Oh, of course they did. Facebook sent them 1,600 paper documents that they then have to manually sort through
Yes.
to encumber them with the fact that Facebook did not want to participate in this pissing contest.
Yep. Apple doesn't have goodwill to start with, and then they're just burning whatever's left, and it's showing. I'm just imagining a FedEx truck rolling up. Bonk. Box after box after pallet after pallet.
Oh, and Facebook has reported that there are about 17,000 more documents that they are currently processing to send for this. That is the easiest way for them to say to them, we don't want to be a part of this. Please keep us out of it. By making it as so inconveniencing to do it.
Because when you send someone an electronic document, when you send a PDF or whatever, they can search it for terms that are relevant. When you send them paper, someone's got to sit down and read it.
That
you
law
can try
offices
to
have to
scan
pay
it
people
and-
to do, either scan them and then document them, or to look through
Yeah.
them manually. Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna ask.
I mean, I hope it was all in recycled paper, but otherwise, like, good flex.
I'm gonna ask our mutual lawyer friend as to how that would how they think of the law offices that are representing
gotta
them
go
are going to
through that.
respond to basically a dump truck worth of memos, pieces of it's anything that has to do with the topic requested.
Yeah. Hey, we found this post-it.
Post-it notes, memos, books that people have written, crap like that. You know, these things they have to submit all of it, and so they will now.
Good.
Speaking of not wanting to put up with people's submissions and having enough of their shit, Boater, when you're playing Dungeons and Dragons,
I'll give you a 3 out of 10 on that segue.
I mean, come up with a better one next time then. Dungeons and
Speaking
Dragons
of big annoying things,
and WizKids, ooh, boo, boo. WizKids has announced that they are
hold on.
releasing.
Speaking of giant fuck you gestures, how's that?
Perfect.
Okay.
Players beware, because WizKids is dropping something on to your DM's ability that is going to be very, very uncomfortable if you are to face it.
Yeah.
They announced that they are creating a scale miniature of. Do you want to take a shot at pronouncing its name?
Tiamat.
Tiamat, for those of you that don't know, is that mythological gigantic elder 5-headed dragon. You know, it's all 5 of the base colors of dragon.
It is the evil dragon god. You know, there are other evil dragons. Some of them might be god. It is the evil dragon god in D&D lore.
So WizKids had made previously a small couple of inch heads that you can put on the table.
Yeah, because
saying,
to scale, Tiamat is enormous. So when you have minis that are like this big, you really don't have a way to put the entire dragon on the table. So here, use a head, use whatever, and we'll just draw a square for the body. That'll have to do, right?
So for under $400, Boater, just under $400, you can buy...
$3.99. Now, hold on, move that decimal over. That's not a real game.
You can buy the Tiamat miniature, as it is so called. It is bigger than some people's pets, coming in at 28.9 inches or 73.4 centimeters for you, Auntie.
So almost 3 feet.
By 14.6 inches or 37.1
Just
centimeters
over a foot.
tall, and 16.8 inches wide, long, by 42.8. So it's 28 width, 16 long, and 14
28
tall.
is going to be roughly, let me use my good arm. 28 is going to be roughly the size of my arm. That's about that. Height, just over a foot, we'll say there-ish. Width, about that as well. That's big!
So, if you want to buy Boater and I a Christmas present, there's a link to the pre-order. It's only 400 bones.
And you drop that on your table because we're starting to get to the point where you can do D&D sessions in person again. And everyone's got their miniatures that they've ordered from Hero Forge for their custom characters. And everyone's ready to go, and you're like, all right, guys, time for the final boss of the campaign. Let me just go grab this treasure chest. Roll for initiative!
I want to talk to the Tavern Keep. The Tavern Keep has now told you that they are not interested in your advances. I roll for a skill check. Go ahead and roll me that check. While you're doing that, the tavern begins to shake.
By the way, that is probably... I mean, that is too short. Actually, if we take this... that's not even a foot long. Yeah, we're talking like 1, 2, 3 maybe. And then about double that in height and width for how big we're looking here with Tiamat. Yeah. I'm awful at estimating the length, but that's the closest I can bring right now. That's amazing.
So, DMs with Unruly Crews rejoice and start charging them, not just for the chips that you bring for them, but to buy that and tell them it's a campaign fee.
Oh my god.
And then drop Tiamat and then make sure that you don't have...
Say, this is what your money went to. Hope you don't lose to it, because otherwise they're going to be pissed and break it.
She can hang out on the couch as Demon Dragon Auntie. That's a typical male problem.
Huh?
Not wrong. Not wrong. So, do we want to segue into topics from
Do you want to hit the fiction zone now? I know there was one more that you said you might have been interested in covering.
You know what? I will
Yeah.
just a short one.
Sure.
Ikumi Nakamura, the video game artist and director. She was the lead on Evil Within and Evil Within 2.
Okay.
She was the creative director for Ghostwire Tokyo, and then she became the highlight of the press conference at Bethesda Softworks. She's the one that ran on stage, was very animated, very excited, and a bunch of people started to support her. So she has apparently departed all of her other commitments and all of her other companies that she works presently for to start her own small startup. And just as the other folks that have done this and that we've reported, this person has a big pedigree in very good games and a lot of different styles. She was the senior artist on Bayonetta. She was an artist on Okami and things like that. So I'm greatly looking forward to what her visions come out to be in a studio that she is either... She hasn't necessarily officially announced what the studio is or what her position in the studio is, but greatly looking forward to seeing what.
When there is an announcement, I'm sure that we'll hear some rumblings about a game as well too.
Hopefully,
At least like what's in the pipe.
yes. So much love to you, and great successes in your near future. In the future, by the way, if you guys out there have any story suggestions or things that you're passionate about that are games that are coming out or things like that, make your voice heard with us here on stream or in the Discord down below under Nerd Glasses. We would love to have some guest topics to throw out and things like that. One of which, we've added this segment recently. It's been very popular. Boder and I have had a lot of fun with it, and you, the
Absolutely.
viewers in the past, have as well. Everything we say for the end of the program is going to be a work of fiction. It is for fun for everyone.
We are entering the fiction zone for the segment that we've taken to calling the Hat Trick. We have put some topics into the hat, as have a few people in the Insane Games TV Discord in the Hat Trick Topics section of Nerd Glasses. There are 5 sheets of paper in here. We're going to go back and forth, draw it out, and we're going to discuss it as though it is a real news item. Though again, we are now in the fiction zone. Nothing we say out from here is true or even speculation that we know of.
Although, if 3 years from now one of these things happens, you bet your ass I'm going to be talking about how Insane Games TV broke
We
it
need to
first.
keep a spreadsheet of like what.
I'm
what
just
these
keeping
topics are.
all of them.
Okay. Right, a spreadsheet would be efficient, and that's not us at all.
So I pulled one of my own, but I will gladly do this one.
Okay.
Because, Boder, rumblings going on in the video game industries. Things heating up between Microsoft and Sony, and Microsoft is looking for a tag in, a compatriot, an ally on their side in the battle against Sony. And they have decided to look not up, not across the aisle, but sharply downwards at a 90-degree angle.
Is it Sega?
Microsoft has begun talks with Google about potentially acquiring the Stadia Surface to be a part of the Microsoft network.
See, I actually totally 100% buy that because of Xbox Cloud Gaming, because it's something that they've done before. I don't know that they focus on it quite as much, but when Google's like, yeah, we're done with Stadia and we're going to close it down, I could see Microsoft going to buy that like from the fire sale and being like, yeah, give us the rights to the distribution, whatever. That way, any games that were on Stadia that weren't on Xbox, we can then distribute. You know, we'll work with the developers to get an Xbox version or whatever. I could see it being a thing.
And I know what you're thinking. There are no games that are on Stadia, that are solely on Stadia, and there's where you would be wrong. Off the top of my head, I cannot tell you what they are, but I know for a fact, searching over the years, that Stadia has now been alive. And by the way, hats off to you, Stadia, for surviving longer than Boder and I thought you were going to.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Microsoft seemingly punching down instead of punching up, and hopefully...
I'm like, how is Microsoft punching down to Google? Oh, Stadia.
The brass knucks of Stadia hopefully help them draw some blood in this battle.
I have no idea what this one's about.
Oh, perfectly. Then I will do this one. So, Boder,
I'm sorry, I have no familiarity with that source content at all.
I have zero issue with this. This is a story that's going to excite Amp Slayer out there in chat and anybody else. Because you know the theme to this character, don't you?
Oh, is that... Which... I know a few characters by that name. Okay.
So...
Okay.
When you fire up Dead by Daylight starting this holiday season, you're going to be matched with a tune. A tune that's going to bring
don't do it.
great familiarity
Don't do it, David.
and strike terror into
David,
all the
no.
survivors' hearts.
David, I know where you live.
As you hear,
Don't do it.
should I sing it or should I voice it? Which one? Which one, Bodie? You gotta
Steve,
pick.
I'm crying
You
right
gotta
now.
pick.
I don't care.
It's not a podcast if I don't make you cry for one thing or another.
I deserve it. My hubris is
You're
brought
gonna
me to this
you're gonna
moment.
start hearing. Barney is a dinosaur from our
Oh my
imagination.
God, that's right. There are
And
verses, too.
when he's tall, he's called the dinosaur sensation. Barney's friends are big and small. Somehow, those mavens at Dead by Daylight have Michael Myers, they have Ghostface, they have a lot of intellectual properties of their own that are quite terrifying, but they're adding Barney the Dinosaur to Dead by Daylight starting in holiday 2025. Definitely make sure to get your pre-orders now. There's rumors that there's going to be other such terrifying characters.
Dave, so when
added
you were
to that game.
a kid in like elementary school, did you was there a version of the "I Love You" song that was passed around with corrupted lyrics around the schoolyard?
No.
I had a discussion with some of my friends a couple years ago, and we talked about the different versions that our schools had of like, I hate you, you hate me, let's hang Barney from a tree, and so on. Like, we talked about the different versions of that. It was edifying.
Amslayer, it honestly seems like a legit April Fool's announcement. What's going on, more like Rigor Mortis? More like Rigor's hashtag here for the tears, hashtag fave part. And then Anti-Claus Prime bringing up something that I don't want to talk about, that I absolutely don't want to hear about. Boda, why don't we move on to another topic?
Anti-Claus, we need to have you on the show to talk about the culling too.
Don't want to hear about it. La 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 la.
Okay, so we like to start off the show talking about who's been banned from Twitch.
Yes.
But of course, there are other streaming platforms and platforms that are used for other reasons. And this one has been a very, very long time coming. Sometimes when we talk about bans, we're like, oh my god, finally, they're gone. Well, this one, banned from YouTube, Jake and Logan Paul. Thank fucking God. And I hate that that is a fictional news story.
One down, only about 1 million to go.
And I can't imagine what they would have done that they haven't already done that would get them banned from YouTube.
Have they yet, like, flatly
They probably
made videos calling out YouTube?
They probably shat on a sponsor. They probably, like, went up to YouTube's office and they took Raycon's executive by the hand and just, like, took a dump in it and smeared it in his face.
That sounds about right around the Paul. Which,
I can think of more horrible things, but I've done enough horrible talking this episode. So we're just going to go with taking a dump in a sponsor's hand and shoving it in his face.
Amslayer, one day it will
YouTube's
be
office.
true.
One day it will be true. Yeah, fingers crossed.
Do you want me to draw another one, or do you want to do the last two?
I'll draw one and then you can do the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. I think these last two. Well, no. One of these is from Steph. One of them's from me. So, Dave.
Yes.
We're still talking about streaming. We're still talking about streaming. No, I did not write that one down. Actually, more like Rick and Mortis. So, if that's one that you want to take. So we've talked a couple times about how things have gone for the U.S. military while streaming.
Yes.
More or less, people just being there, like, they're more or less doing military recruiting in streaming and being like, hey, you can go here if you're interested in whatever. They're having actual military members. Other branches of United States government have now gotten into that. Namely, the CIA is now streaming on Twitch. And they're...
Really?
And it's this kind of like covert, you gotta find out a bunch of hidden information. They play games along that lines while they're doing their recruiting. They played a Blue's Clues game. Hey, viewers, can you figure out what this is? Very good! Sign up for, war crimes, but more subtle about it.
I've just been handed some information, Boater.
Yes.
And it's very offensive to me personally.
Yes.
It's very hurtful. I can't believe people would do such a thing. And yet at the same point, it's so right that this would happen. But the Game Awards, a lot of big things going on, big announcements. They have all these franchises, all these things. Well, the big one. The big one that everyone does is the series of the decade. You talk about which ones have really stood the test of time and represented the last 10 years of gaming.
Yep, from 2011 to 2020, what were the games that defined a decade? What were the game series that defined a decade?
And
I think game of the decade probably went to Homestuck. What was? I don't remember what series was. Director was probably. I don't know.
so, this series makes sense. It has crossed so many lines in the last decade. They've added Gundam. They've added Legend of Zelda. They have their own living and beating and breathing historical based franchise and things
Dave, what
like
franchise
that.
could that possibly be?
Why, that would be Omega Force's own Dynasty Warriors was named the series of the decade. And you know,
Amazing.
in a way,
What
just
a flawless series of games.
just
Nothing
to-
wrong with those games at all.
and just to make it more offensive, they didn't talk about any of the other spin-off Dynasty Warriors games. No, they said that 9 was truly the one that put it over the edge from goodness to greatness.
With a special honorable mention for the Empires spin-off series.
Which, by the way, really glad that Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires still has no release yet.
Dave,
So
I want that game to come out before the end of May so that you need to stay up and do a 12-hour Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires stream for St. Jude.
it has been challenged of me. It will happen whenever that game comes out. The good news is, if you type in Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires, it still says early 2021, and then nothing else. So, yeah,
I've had my keyboard in front of me this entire time and I haven't actually even turned it on. It's just a prop.
You can tell this is a fiction, by the way. The culling, of course. I actually do not know anything about this story, at all.
Yeah, Interesting. Is that that's a new game coming out?
Apparently.
So that is not Fiction Zone, I think. I'm looking at the date that was not posted on April 1st. We'll mention this. We are now out of the Fiction Zone. Thank you to everybody that contributed to the Fiction Zone and for the hat trick. We are
Wait.
out of those topics. What?
Let me click the link to see if it brings us to the Nintendo store. So I think this is a good April Fool's joke.
Click Steam. Is that Discord, Steam, Twitter? Okay.
Nope, it's a real game. Because you can buy Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion.
Does it have a demo? I want to try it out and then report back.
I don't see a demo, but I do see.
It looks like it was delayed. So it says it's coming out April 22nd. Frankly, that should have come out April 17th. Or 15th. What's tax day normally? Whatever, that was delayed too.
So, it looks like April 22nd, 2021, the game that sounds just like Untitled Goose Game, getting a release called Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. A cheeky little title that actually, for the first time in our fake story segment, this is actually turning out to be some real news.
Yep, that's a real thing. And Dave, since we are now back out of the Fiction Zone, I will share that Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires has been postponed indefinitely. This was announced early last month, but it says it has been postponed from its early 2021 release date. So Dave, you are free for this year's St. Jude.
Oh no! However would I have already known this and trying to... Oh goodness darn it, how could they do that to me?
Dave, what did you do? We've talked about stealing source code, Dave. You're not supposed to do it for whatever reason.
You know, I may or may not have submitted some videos of me crying, and they went, "This is not what this game is for. This is not what this game is for."
That is what this game is for. I want Dynasty Warriors to come out so that I can see Dave irrationally angry at things.
It looks like we might just have to set an incentive for Dynasty Warriors 9. Oh, shit. You know what the even worse part is?
What?
The save file for that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, so you got to do it all over again
So
and sit through 30 people being introduced all at once?
The 12 hours that Joe and I played
It's
is
a
gone.
Christmas miracle.
Oh, Lord. I think it just means Dave needs to play 24 hours of the latest one. I think Claire would kill me.
I tried to do a 24-hour stream one time for the 24 hours of Le Mans in real time. My co-driver crashed the car after 2 hours, and we ended up just doing a 12-hour race after that.
I could definitely see doing a team 24-hour stream. I know for a fact if I know May is not the month for me to do a 24-hour stream. Just because there is at no point in that month where I have off from both of my jobs to coordinate, hey, like I'll just be dead to the world for this amount of time afterwards. Next week we will be announcing some news about St. Jude's Play Live.
Yep.
So keep it tuned in here for more about that. But I do have some scandalous ideas for both me and Boater and for my own campaign.
Yeah.
Because a grand is not going to climb itself.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to that, but we'll talk more about that next week probably. Otherwise, I think that's about it for the Nerd Glasses podcast tonight.
Well, we have more, but unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have to validate Mr. Kojima's parking.
Yeah. He won Director of the Decade, too.
Death Stranding. We'll talk
Fiction
about
zone.
that again next week. And we will indefinitely see you all here next week for the Nerd Glasses. If you haven't yet, now is your time. Hit that follow button.
Yep.
It's over here by me.
Yeah.
Hit that follow button. Ring that bell so you get notified every time we go live. There are 11 different streamers on this network, and we do a bevy of content. Tune into a random stream. Chat with the streamers. Name drop the stream that you originally saw it on and name drop it to the other people. See what you like, what you don't like. Help Insane Games TV grow to be not just our network, but the world's network.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with their network. So I was ready for that. The world's network.
I mean, it's already our network, respectively.
Sorry. That was the inclusive we. My apologies. Of course, coming up next is The Citadel, where I will be playing Assassin's Creed. So make sure that when we go offline, if you're interested in sticking around for watching more of the first Assassin's Creed game, that you go up, grab some popcorn. I'm going to go grab a candy bar. We'll be back in about 5 minutes and then a 10-minute countdown. In the meantime, you can see Dave at more shows right here, as well as at twitch.tv/DAM314 with the Weekend Wednesday tomorrow night and plenty of other stuff. And you can catch me over at twitch.tv/Boaterbug, including this upcoming Thursday when I will be co-streaming with the Ritual Motion community as we play Among Us, probably with the new map. I didn't even get the chance to talk about the new Among Us map. And some Jackbox games, and that's going to be a good time Thursday night around 7. So make sure that follow us and follow us right here at Insane Games TV. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys in just a few minutes on the Citadel, but otherwise...
I already have a reserved table.
Okay, awesome. Otherwise, guys, we will see you right here at the Nerd Glasses podcast next week at 7 o'clock Eastern. From all of us here at Insane Games TV and the Nerd Glasses podcast, I've been Boater.
I've been Dave Mann.
And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.